Yeah, here I'm just cutting my paper silk screen to size so I can put it, attach it with some tape to the board. And yeah, I didn't optimize that step, but I optimized some steps, and I guess I will show them all to you. Now I'm actually taping the paper silkscreen to the board, and yeah, this time I do not make the mistake to put tape over the holes where the pins of the LEDs are supposed to go through. Yeah, that was a little hiccup with the first board. I maneuvered expertly around that little hiccup this time. Yeah, I'm just marking here the holes I have to drill for the mounting holes, and some other holes for the resistors, and the yeah, the connector that I will put onto the board after I removed my paper silk screen. Okay. Yeah, the adding here will sufficiently bleed through, so I can see where the resistors and the connector goes even after I removed that paper. Again, silk screen. I have to find a better solution, really. And now we come to my favorite part, the drilling. And this time I do everything right. Have a brand new sacrificial board. I secure the workpiece, and I'm not using some old cordless drill with an old 3 mm drill bit, but there in the background I have my brand new Proxon, which I think I twiddle here between 5,000 and 10,000 RPMs. And did I mention I use a brand new drill bit, 3 mm drill bit? And ooh, yeah, it basically sucks the drill bit into the material. So yeah, yeah, still room for improvement. For once, you can really tighten your chuck before you start drilling, if you noticed that. And second, using this as a drill is, yeah, might require a drill stand. Yeah, that would be much better. Anyway, the holes will not be as good as I hoped. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the part that never Jesus to amaze, putting all the 48 LEDs onto the board on the right position, the right way around. But yeah, you remember the long pin is the anode positive, the short pin is the cathode negative, and also the flat side of the LED is the short pin, and the round side positive is the long pin. Yeah. And yeah, this time I'm already bending the leads of the LEDs into the right direction according to my paper silk screen. And yeah, this will make work a little bit easier on the one hand. On the other hand, you will see I will experience a little problem with that technique. And even if you haven't noticed it yet, this is an experiment in voiceover and time lapse. So yeah, I thought I had it all worked out, cutting stripes here, and then it will be not such a mess, removing my, sorry, paper silk screen. But as you see, it didn't work out that way. It's still a total mess getting that off the board again. And yeah, while it's really helpful in placing the components on a perf board or any board, I really think about changing that method to, using some heat transfer paper, printing out my silk screen on the laser printer, and then just take an iron and, iron onto the board. Could be a perf board or a home etched printed board, whatever. Yeah, that's certainly an option that would be worth the $1 or $2 a sheet of that heat transfer paper actually costs. Yeah, and regarding the actual soldering, that was, yeah, the styrofoam board was the worst idea ever. Do not try that. Do not try that. It will be gone in a second because it was a really, really awful idea. Yeah, I changed my technique a little bit insofar that I tagged first one lead of the LEDs and then pressed the LEDs from the other side again against the board and reheated the solder joint so that the LED would really sit flush on the board. And yeah, and then after it sat flush with one lead soldered, I continued soldering the other lead and the other required connections. Yeah, that actually turned out a really good idea because in the end I had only to do only very little rework, meaning there were only, I don't know, look at the video, 2 or 3 LEDs that were not absolutely flush to the board and where I had to reheat both solder joints to press them in a little further. Yeah, actually, it was completely okay to do the second board that way. Yeah, that worked very, very, very well. Yeah, and yeah, a lot of time lapse, very fast time lapse, because I do not want to bore you. That is, I don't want to bore you more than I was bored doing that board. Okay, yeah, the connector is glued on with a little bit of Loctite. My series resistors are all bent, and now they go onto the board. And yeah, I could point out the mistake I made first time. around, but yeah, you won't probably don't even notice it. So let's just skip through it. Yeah, here I'm actually trying to find out how long the cable has to be. Yeah, you know I'm very yeah, tedious with my cables and stuff. And yeah, it shouldn't be too short, it shouldn't be too long. So I look here, how much do I need to get to the power supply board? And then I roughly place here the LED board any second now. We are in real time, aren't we? And yeah, put it on the other side, and yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Then I snip it, almost real time. Yeah, cut the second cable exactly the same length. Really, exactly the same. And here I'm actually crimping the contacts to the cables and putting them into the housings and so forth. Using my trusty engineer crimping tool, plier, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think yeah, there was an unboxing video. See the links or the card or whatever. Yeah, one remark, I'm making sure, of course, that the that I put the right cable color into the right side of the connector, and that I don't cross over the cables from one connector to the other. And finally, we can put the whole thing to a test. And yeah, I was a little bit nervous. I mean, the first board worked right away. Okay, this time I'm doing it a little bit different. I'm putting the board actually on the side where it will reside in the future, so you can't really see the power board. And now I'm, yeah, aha! I put it into the frame for you. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was nervous. I mean, the second board was an initial success. I couldn't believe the second board would also work right away. I mean, all four strings of LEDs. So here comes the power, and here comes a big oh, and it worked. It worked. Okay, super. Bye bye. See you next time.